So today I'm going to be unboxing MSI's shiniest motherboard box out of their updated packaging. You can see that the 890FXA lettering rather, is actually like sparkly. Very cool. Anyway, this is the 890FXA-GD70 motherboard. It is the replacement for the very popular 790FX-GD70. So the A means that it has support for USB 3.0 as well as SATA 3 or SATA 6 gigabit per second. You can see that down here. It still features their OC Genie easy overclocking technology along with core unclocking and support for 6-core CPUs out of the box. So that means you've got full support for AMD's Phenom 2 X6. Over here we've got everything else. So, oh yeah, this is the first time I've seen this on their motherboards, but they've been doing this on video cards for a couple generations now. Military class. So that means they are using, well, top components as military quality, whatever. So basically that means that they're using only military grade components. So high C cap, 8 times longer lifespan. They're using IC choke, 20C, lower temperatures, and then all solid caps for 10 years, ultra long lifetime. Basically what they're going for is the best possible stability and longevity with this motherboard. Everything there we've already covered. It has Dr. Moss, and MSI's claim, and I haven't seen anything to disprove this, is that one phase of Dr. Moss is greater than or equal to 4 standard phases of MOSFETs. So they switch very fast. They are... Oh, I just did it again. Yeah, basically, Dr. Moss is really good. That's what they say. Flat heat pipe, best radiating solution. Oh, okay, so basically it keeps the heat pipe nice and low profile as it comes along the motherboard. Okay, let's get this opened up. Have a quick look at the accessories and then have a look at the 890FXA-GD70. Here's our quick guide. I love these MSI quick guides. They give you a full size, actually it looks a little bit larger than life, model of the motherboard, and then labels everything for you to make life really easy. And then there's more marketing on the back. Thank you. All right, then for other included accessories, we have a drivers and utilities DVD. Don't install this. Download the latest off the MSI website. Here is a little user guide on their hard drive backup solution. Great, we got a quick installation guide, which is kind of like that other thing, except more detailed. So it shows you how to install your CPU RAM, drives, front panel connectors, power, set up the BIOS, all that good stuff. Next we have the BIOS code unlock technology. So a quick guide on how to use their core unlocking utility. Very nice. Then their control center for overclocking. Oh, here's a little user guide for that. Very nice, all color, look at that. All English, wow. Recommended CPU coolers for overclocking. Okay, these are some interesting, well, I hope they're going somewhere with that. I don't have time to read it though. Next we've got the user's guide, which is not all in English. It contains a number of different languages and lots of details about stuff. We have an I/O shield. We have a fairly complete accessory package overall. So we've got 4 SATA cables, 2 Molex to SATA adapters, 1 IDE cable. Then we have 2 USB 2.0 back panel connectors via one of those headers. Oh, here's a bit of a, M connector. I was going to say it's kind of like a Q connector, but M. Okay, there you go. So this has a way for you to plug in all of your front panel stuff and then plug the whole thing in as a brick to the motherboard. Very neat. Then we have a Crossfire Bridge. So this motherboard, being an AMD chipset motherboard, 890FX chipset, is not SLI compatible. However, this is probably the coolest thing about this motherboard. And so I'm gonna skip the usual stuff that I show you right away, and I'm gonna show you this right off the bat. This motherboard is a standard ATX motherboard, and it supports 1, 2, 3, 4 dual slot graphics cards. So you can actually use quad Crossfire X on a standard ATX board. MSI has pulled an engineering coup here in order to enable that. Now it's going to run 8X, 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 8X in all likelihood, although I haven't checked, but 90% will, but that doesn't actually have an impact on any of the high performance GPUs these days, including the 5870. Very cool feature. So we've got their active phase switching technology. This is for power saving. What it does is it actually turns off CPU power phases that are not in use in order to get the most efficiency whether you're at idle or load on your CPU. There's your AM3 socket supporting dual channel DDR3 memory, and it looks like MSI has taken another page out of one of their competitors' books here, and they have their single side installation for the memory module. So you just slide it in the one side and then clip it shut on the other side. Dr. Moss, okay, green power, express cool, rapid boost. Okay, we already talked about this on the back. Let me see if there's anything under the sticker of note. And no, there isn't. Oh, yes, there is. There is a voltage checkpoint for your RAM right in there. I don't know if the cameraman can see that or not. He says not really, but it's in there. I assure you it is. Okay, what else do we have? I'm going to see if I can find any other voltage checkpoints here. And I'm just going to put this down on the table so we can have a better look under the good light. Not so much so far. Well, I'm not going to worry too much about that for now. Why don't we have a look at what else this board has to offer? Our 8-pin connector is in its ideal location up at the top left of the board, right next to this huge, beefy-looking chipset and MOSFET cooler. It looks like the north bridge is actually under this part, and then this part is dedicated to cooling the MOSFETs. Here's that flat, thick heat pipe that they talked about going down to the south bridge. There, and then we have our 24-pin power connector right where it belongs, one IDE connector. Here is a SATA 2 port running off a J-Micron controller, as is this IDE port, and probably an eSATA port on the back. Then on this side, we have 6 SATA 3 6 gigabit per second ports. So those are running off the SB850 South Bridge. Next, we have our easy button. I love these. I love these touch-sensitive buttons. The first time I saw this was on the P55GD70, and I'm glad that they're continuing to do this because I think it's so cool. Then we have a little OC dial, so that seems pretty self-explanatory. Plus and minus, depending on how fast you want the CPU to go. Then there's an OC dial button. I'm guessing that enables it. And then we have their green power button. Okay, then we have 3 USB 2.0 front headers. We have FireWire, 2 FireWire front headers. And then in addition to that, we have not a whole lot else. I'm gonna have one more quick scan here and see if I can find like a CPU voltage readout point or anything like that. No, there's nothing. Well, you know what? It might be there somewhere. If you can find it, feel free to leave a comment on my video and let me know where it is. Let's have a look at the back panel connectors. Oh, cameraman wants to look at that sweet VRM and Northbridge cooling solution, I think. That is very cool. I really like it. Actually, here, get it from this angle. Get it from this angle. See, these are actually wavy in order to give it slightly more surface area and a little bit better turbulence for any airflow that does happen to go through there. Very cool. Okay, oh yeah, I guess the rest of the slots I didn't even talk about. There's one more PCIe 1X slot and a PCI slot, as if anyone cares. If you buy this motherboard, do me a favor, load it up with a bunch of graphics cards, because that is what it is for. Okay, let's have a look at our connectors on the back. We got PS2 mouse and keyboard, 2 dedicated ports. We have a clear CMOS button in its very ideal location right on the back. We have optical as well as coaxial audio out, so digital formats, both. Then we have one of those USB eSATA ports. So 6 USB 2.0 ports, 1 eSATA. Then we have 2 gigabit Ethernet, 2 USB 3.0, as well as 7.1 audio out. Thank you for checking out my unboxing of the 890FXA-GD70.